Hey everybody again, this is Pedro, founder of Auricle, and this video is about operational modes. You might have just been in the first video where I just explained the normal operation. So that's the first operation mode, that is the standard operation mode, where you do playback and so on. The second operation mode is the phone call mode. I already talked a little bit about it, but I would like to give you a little more explanation on it. There are several reasons why we decided to make the phone call mode in this way. Technical reasons, but also usability reasons. The phone mode essentially works like a phone. So instead of having the headphones placed like this, like in normal stereo playback mode, you will have to take the phone call using this button here, or you can answer it on the phone as well. But the idea is that you use the headphones like a phone. So one for listening and one for speaking. You basically take the phone call here on the power button, and then you take it out and you clip it to your shirt. You can clip it to your shirt, you can clip it in other places. It depends on how you're using it, where you are, if you're cycling, if you're walking. You can also leave it here, but we recommend that you put it closer to your voice. So the idea is that you have a better signal to noise ratio when you're having a phone call. As you might be aware, a lot of headphones have that challenge where people don't really hear you. The microphone is too far from the voice. There's a lot of wind going on. So that's why we decided to do this phone call mode. For example, if you're cycling, you could even, let's say, take the microphone and put it inside your shirt. And by doing that, you're actually protecting the microphone from the wind. Microphones love wind. You know, microphone is a membrane, and what it's doing is capturing disturbances of the air. And, you know, sound is a disturbance of the air, but so is wind, and it's a much, much stronger disturbance. So by putting it inside your shirt, you actually stop the wind, but you don't stop the sound. So that's pretty good. Of course, you can be quite creative about how you place it. We would love to know how you use it, because we want to make the most of it for everybody. I'm just thinking, if you have a shirt and a t-shirt, you can just clip it to the t-shirt, but have it in between the two shirts. So you're close to the voice and you still cover the microphone from the wind. That works pretty okay. Or for example, if you have a bike helmet, you have the strap going on here, and then it actually goes down here. You could even strap it to the bike helmet, and then you're very close to the voice. Yeah, so then once you're done with the phone call, you just press the power button again to turn off the phone call, clip it back, and you're back to stereo playback. So that's the second play mode. The third one, we call it Zen Mode. Zen Mode, as the name indicates, is actually not listening to what's going on around you, be more retracted and Zen. But obviously, this is not how the headphones are supposed to be used all the time. But it's something that we actually enable you to do if you want to. And the reason why was, you know, we had a lot of feedback from people saying, oh, but then I have to listen to what's going on around me all the time. Well, that's kind of the purpose of these headphones. But we still wanted to think about how can we provide some solution that would still enable you to close off. So for example, if you go to an airplane, obviously you don't want to listen to that loud noise all the time, but you still want to be listening to the headphones. So we actually include this in the tip box. It's a Christmas tree earplug. It's a pretty standard earplug. But the idea is that you can plug it to the clamp. So instead of having the tip on, you can take out the tip. There's a little hole here. You can place it on the clamp and you just put it like that. This is pretty self-explanatory. Same mechanism. But as you can see, it's actually quite big. This part especially is quite long. But the reason why it's so long is because different people have different tragus sizes. So you need to cut it according to what your tragus size is. So I'm going to explain to you guys how to do that. And please remember that once you cut it, it's done. So try to do it the best you can so that you can have your ear canal completely closed, and this is cut at the right size. If you want to play safe, you should maybe cut it less than what the explanation will be, and then you can try it out, put it on, and see if it works. Otherwise, you can cut a little more until you get to the right size. But once you cut more than you should, then, it's too late. You pick it up like this, and you go with your other hand around your head, and you push your ear up so that you can open your ear canal as much as possible. And then you put the ear plug all the way in as you push your ear up. And yeah, just go as far as you can so that the ear canal is properly closed. So now it's inside there. I can still give it a little more wiggle just to be sure. And there we are. So now, my ear canal is completely plugged. I have a little bit out here that is too much. It's an extra piece. So this earplug is clearly bigger for my ear than it should be. So what do? I have my tragus here, right? And I put my nail next to my tragus so I can feel that extra bit of plastic. And then I take it out, and I know exactly what I need to cut off. So you see, I took out the piece there. That's where I'm going to cut that little extra of plastic. So yeah, you just use a regular scissor. Once you cut it out, then you can try again. You put it in the clamp. This hole is actually quite narrow on purpose so that this will never come out, but it's very flexible, so it's very easy to put. And then you do the same exercise. You push your ear back and you put it in there. Right now, the size is not cut, so it's not correct, but essentially, you see I can still put it on, but it's not ideal. It should be a little more secure than this. You need to cut it to your right size. And now I can't hear anything through my ear canal, but I can hear through conduction, right? So I can still listen through my tragus and through my bones. And actually, I also hear the resonance of my ear canal. That's also very important to talk about because the ear canal is now closed. So it works like a resonance chamber. So when you close the ear canal, you actually amplify a lot of the low frequencies. So the frequency response of with and without the earplug is quite different. So we will have a correction filter in the app when the app comes out. That will basically be just a switch where you can turn on and you will activate Zen Mode, and you will have a lot less bass because you already have a lot of natural bass with your ear canal being closed. But right now we don't have the app available. So if you want to do it yourself, if you're listening to music, for example, through Spotify, you can go to the options and you can go to the playback menu and go to the EQ, and you can lower the low frequency bands until you have a sound that you like. So I would recommend you to do that meanwhile, but we will have that option in the app, I hope, as soon as possible. Can't give you a proper date, but we're working on it. Now the last mode, which is a very creative mode, but that's also what we like about these headphones, is that we created our own reality with it. And the point is to use these headphones in several different ways. And one of the feedbacks we got from some people, and again, this doesn't apply to the majority, but it could be that some people might think that the fit is not as secure as they would like for running and doing like a more active sport or activity. We made this mode called the sprint mode. It's very creative. There's not a lot of technology to it. It's purely a hack. So what is this? You might not need this mode if you choose the right tips with the right side that fits your tragus exactly. But if you want to have the headphones absolutely 100% secure so that you can hike safely or you can race as quick as you want, you basically just take the headphones out and you flip them around. So you put the left on the right and the right on the left. So you flip them around You clip them back again, so they're symmetrical. And now you can see that the cable is actually hanging right here. So with a cap or with a helmet or whatever you're using for your extreme sports, you can put the cable in there. You see that the cable is inside is extremely secure, and you will immediately see that, okay, this is even more, I mean, there's no way this is gonna move, right? You can do all kinds of crazy stuff. You can fight, you can do whatever you want. We call it the sprint mode. There's no magic, it's just a creative thing, but it really makes a difference if you really, really want to be 100% sure that it will not move at all. So these are the different modes of using the headphones. We hope you enjoy it, and please give us any feedback you might have. We really appreciate it. See you soon.